George Washington's life, both before and during his presidency, is a tapestry woven with threads of extraordinary leadership, profound dedication, and the undeniable complexities of his era. From his early days as a surveyor and military officer to his pivotal role in the American Revolution and his 2 terms as the nation's first president, Washington's actions laid the foundational stones of the United States. Yet they were not without their shadows and controversies. Born into a relatively modest Virginia planter family in 1732, Washington's early life was marked by a relentless ambition and a desire for social advancement. His lack of a formal European education was offset by a strong work ethic and a commitment to self-improvement. He honed his skills as a surveyor, navigating the rugged wilderness of the Shenandoah Valley, an experience that instilled in him an intimate understanding of the land and a practical resilience. His military career began in the Virginia militia during the French and Indian War, where he gained valuable, albeit sometimes difficult, combat experience. His early engagements, particularly the Fort Necessity debacle, highlighted his youthful impetuosity and lack of strategic experience. However, he learned from these early setbacks, demonstrating a capacity for growth that would define his later years. His marriage to Martha Dandridge Custis, a wealthy widow, significantly enhanced his social standing and financial security, allowing him to expand his beloved Mount Vernon estate. This period also cemented his status as a prominent figure in the Virginia gentry, deeply entrenched in the slaveholding society of the South. The escalating tensions with Great Britain propelled Washington onto the national stage. His military experience, combined with his dignified demeanor and perceived incorruptibility, made him a natural choice to lead the Continental Army in 1775. His leadership during the American Revolution was nothing short of miraculous. Facing a superior British force, a poorly supplied and often demoralized army, and a deeply divided populace, Washington's perseverance was the linchpin of the American cause. He endured crushing defeats, such as the loss of New York City, and the brutal winter at Valley Forge, where his unwavering presence inspired his suffering troops. His strategic brilliance, exemplified by daring maneuvers like the crossing of the Delaware and the surprise attack at Trenton, demonstrated a keen understanding of guerrilla warfare and the importance of maintaining the morale of his forces. More than just a military commander, Washington understood the political dimensions of the war. Carefully navigating the fractious Continental Congress and ensuring that military power remained subordinate to civilian authority, his ultimate triumph at Yorktown, achieved with crucial French assistance, secured American independence and solidified his legendary status. Following the war, Washington, against all expectations, resigned his commission and returned to Mount Vernon, an act that sent shockwaves across the globe and underscored his commitment to Republican ideals. This voluntary relinquishment of power was unprecedented and set a powerful precedent for civilian control of the military in the nascent republic. Washington was persuaded to preside over the Constitutional Convention in 1787. His presence lent immense legitimacy to the proceedings, and his calm and steady hand helped guide the often contentious debates towards a successful conclusion. The resulting Constitution, a testament to compromise and foresight, laid the framework for the United States as we know it. In 1789, Washington was unanimously elected as the first President of the United States, a role he approached with a profound sense of duty and a clear understanding of the monumental task before him. He recognized that every action he took would set a precedent for future leaders. His 2 terms in office, from 1789 to 1797, were characterized by a deliberate effort to establish the authority and legitimacy of the federal government, both domestically and internationally. One of his most significant achievements was the establishment of a strong and stable financial system. Under the guidance of his brilliant Secretary of the Treasury, Alexander Hamilton, the federal government assumed state debts, created a national bank, and implemented a system of tariffs and taxes to generate revenue. These measures, though controversial at the time, stabilized the nation's economy, fostered commercial growth, and established the creditworthiness of the United States on the world stage. Washington's steadfast support for Hamilton's sometimes unpopular policies was crucial to their success. Washington also demonstrated a commitment to national unity and the rule of law. The Whiskey Rebellion of 1794, an uprising by farmers in western Pennsylvania protesting a federal excise tax on whiskey, presented a critical test of federal authority. Washington, demonstrating firm resolve, personally led federal troops to quell the rebellion, an unprecedented act for a sitting president. This decisive action sent an unmistakable message that the federal government would enforce its laws and that challenges to its authority would not be tolerated, thereby strengthening the bonds of the young republic. In foreign policy, Washington pursued a path of neutrality, seeking to avoid entanglement in the ongoing conflicts between Great Britain and France. His proclamation of neutrality in 1793, though criticized by some who favored supporting France, was a pragmatic decision designed to protect the fragile American economy and prevent the young nation from being drawn into ruinous European wars. His farewell address, published in 1796, famously warned against the dangers of permanent foreign alliances and the formation of political factions, offering timeless advice on maintaining national unity and independence. Washington also oversaw the establishment of crucial government departments, appointed the first Supreme Court justices, and laid the groundwork for the future capital city. His careful selection of talented individuals for his cabinet, despite their often divergent political views, demonstrated his commitment to securing the best possible advice for the nation. However, no historical figure is without their flaws, and Washington was no exception. The most glaring and morally indefensible aspect of his life was his ownership of enslaved people. Like many wealthy plantation owners of his era, Washington relied on slave labor to maintain his vast estate. While he expressed private discomfort with the institution later in his life, and notably stipulated in his will that his enslaved people be freed upon Martha's death, he profited directly from human bondage throughout his life. This contradiction between the champion of liberty and the slaveholder remains a powerful stain on his legacy and a stark reminder of the fundamental hypocrisy at the heart of the American founding. Furthermore, his handling of Native American relations was often brutal and expansionist. Under his presidency, the federal government pursued policies that dispossessed indigenous peoples of their lands, often through violent conflict. While he sought to establish treaties, these agreements were frequently violated, and the westward expansion of the United States came at immense cost to Native American communities. Finally, while Washington preached unity, his administration also saw the genesis of partisan divisions, particularly between the Federalists, led by Hamilton, and the Democratic Republicans, led by Jefferson, while Washington attempted to remain above the fray. His own political leanings and his support for Hamilton's policies often exacerbated these emerging factions, setting the stage for future political strife. Despite these significant negatives, Washington's enduring legacy as the father of his country is well-deserved. His unwavering commitment to Republican ideals, his courageous leadership in war, and his deliberate establishment of a stable and legitimate federal government provided the essential framework for the survival and growth of the United States. He set precedents for the presidency that emphasized service, integrity, and the peaceful transfer of power, cementing the principles of American democracy. His dignified presence, his ability to inspire loyalty, and his profound sense of duty guided the nation through its most fragile years, earning him a singular place in American history. Washington's life serves as a powerful reminder that even the greatest leaders are complex figures, shaped by their times, capable of both immense good and regrettable failings. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe.